Good morning, students. Today's class is about shipbuilding. This is a very exciting topic. You will learn a lot of different terms, a lot of different stories, and of course, the usage for these terminologies. It's very essential that we learn to identify all these places in the vessel so you would have a better vessel construction, especially in this that is exactly your area that you will be working in the future. So let's start it from the very beginning. So we have the most common story, that is the story of Noah in the Bible, which says that Noah built an ark in order to save the animals and his family, but it was supposed to happen to save the human race or the human being. We know that that's the most common, but I also have another one. Here is another kind of a story, just exactly like the Hebrews one, but the Jewish. It's almost the same. So this means that you would create your own one. It says, building the ship. And this story explains the life of a family that were living close to the sea, and God ordered to Nephi to build a ship or build a vessel, and he and his two brothers were planning to do it. Well, something happened at first, but later on they were the Nephi's brothers were convinced to help on building the ship. What I want you to do with this is, after you read this little story, then you try to create one story about it, one little story. So you create the characters and the theme, and you will tell me using words that you already know from these previous courses that you studied shipbuilding. So you can be very specific on the construction of the vessel and things like that. I'll appreciate it because I wanted to see how creative you are in this topic. Okay, now that you end of the first part of this class, I'm going to explain the different terms of the part of the ships. In this case, these are basic terms. We have the hull, the hull, the superstructure, the mechanic, the stern, the bow, the midship, the beam, the deck, the engine room, the propeller shaft, the bow thruster, and the rudder, the bulbous bow, and the hull. What I want to do in this little module is to explain the usage or the purpose of every one of these terms, and also try to identify where is located in the vessel, where they are located. Okay. Here I have the different type of vessel. Well, one of the most commons. Okay. I have the multi-purpose vessel, which can carry on tubes or containers, but also can carry on other kind of merchandise, like bull, like cars, trucks. So it's very optional, or have a lot of different purposes, different from the oil or tanker. This This vessel just carry crew, um, liquid gas, and some other things related to liquid. Okay. The following is a container vessel. Container vessel is one of the most common, the most used vessel to move merchandise in the world trade around the world. It also have a capacity of from 2,000 up to 18,000 container. The biggest container vessel is named Immersal Triple E, which can carry that amount of containers. And remember that we have different kind of containers too. We have from 20 feet up to 40 feet. Okay. And there we go. I have another kind of vessel. This is a Roro. A Roro. A Roro ship can carry the cars. Just specialized on carrying cars. And merchandise things that could roll on the ship and roll off the ship. Okay. There you go. Bulk carrier carry different merchandise like grains, ore, raw material, specialized on carrying raw material. They have special hatches. This one have 10 different hatches, and in the top you can see the cover hatchers. Okay. And of course the explanation of the ship are large complex vehicle which must be self-sustained in their environment for long period with high degree of difficulty. A ship is a product of three main areas of skill. Those are the naval architect, the navigating officer, also named deck officer, and the engineer, that also named engineering officer. These guys are in charge of not only in the construction but the movement of the vessel from side to side, making a voyage, a trip of a vessel from one point up to another, from the place of origin up to the place of a destination, or the port that is supposed to go. We have different ports. That's why they have to be very specific. That's a voyage. Here, as you see, and I'll be trying to explain a little bit what is a hull, and it says is the actual shelf of the ship, including her superstructure. So the whole superstructure of the engine. Then we have machinery that include not only the main engines required to drive, but also the auxiliary machinery like boilers, generators, and so on. The rear position of the ship, that is called after the end, or the stern at the end of the ship, the bow, the amidship, the beam. What is exactly the beam? As you see, this is the beam. Could be the Y of the ship too. The white. The kind of propulsion, the thruster, what it calls the bow thruster. I have a bow thruster picture that I will show later on, but now I have here the different definitions of the vessel, okay? And I'm trying to clarify every part of the vessel. But I want you to practice. Okay, this is the technique that I'm using to teach this class. It's named ADI, Analysis, Design, Development, Implementation, and Evaluation. All the things that I am exactly doing in this tutorial or in this class. And well, here is one of the most useful software to teach English, maritime English, because you have the different part of the different areas or the different areas of the maritime sector, and all the English or the techniques of the English that we apply to teach are emphasized on maritime. You will enjoy it. So first of all, here we have the pronunciation, you see? And here we have the definition.
The deck at the stern.
You see, what you have to do is to drag where do you think it's gonna be right the words or not, you see? Crew.
The crew. The men working on a ship.
You see? So you drag it and you order it according to the right definition of the term. And finally, you can check it. You can check it here to see which is right and which is not.
The crew. The men working on a ship.
You see? And it says keep on trying because I haven't finished. But it's good you to know that. On the second part, you have to drag also. You have to drag the
navigation bridge.
The words, and as you are doing it,
the main deck.
As you are doing it, you will find
funnels.
You will find the pronunciation. Tell you where is the bow? Where is the bow? The bow. Where is the bow? And if you said a phrase or one of these terms in a wrong place, you will check
funnels. The navigation bridge. The bow.
You see? You're gonna directly take out the word because it's not exactly where it has to be said. Here, my dears, is the ship or the vessel. Now have more of the words that we implement in the previous, but they have some others. Okay.
Rescue boat. Rescue boat.
This is the rescue boat. Okay. Then you see we have different hold, and so on. You're going to practice all the time, but also the pronunciation. One effective part of the using of this software is that you can practice your pronunciation to the right pronunciation of every single word. And as you have listened until now, this is British English. That's make it even more funny. Okay, then we have like kind of another exercise in which the software provides a meaning, and then you have to write the term. This software is very complex. It also have dictionary. It also have dictionary. You see, then the words that you will need probably, but it also have a grammar structure. If you see here, have a grammar structure that you can print it in if you want. And what is funny about this is that everything is related to the maritime sector or the maritime area in your specialization. Okay, you see? Now let's practice this. Here we have the rules. There you go. The definition of the article. Well, students, thank you for your participation in this class. And I'm gonna say in a homework for next class, please, what you're going to do is to answer the following question, but also you will make a PowerPoint presentation of this. So you have to get the definition, the right definitions. No, one that is not exactly that I already mentioned in this work, but what you're going to do different is that you are going to make to set pictures. So you make a PowerPoint presentation trying to get the definition of all these terms. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. I'm pretty glad to be your professor and teach this exciting course named Chip Building.